Alright, so I just wanted to let everybody know that I finally figured out how to do the armhole when I'm adding the lining in. So I just wanted to do a quick video. Side note, the pattern that I am doing does not call for a lining, but I prefer my dresses and things like that to have a lining in them. So, before you your dress up the side seam yet on your bodice, that needs to be open. So I've already done this side. This is the finished edge. This is my armhole. I haven't ironed it yet. So over here is the side that is not finished, raw edge. So what you're going to do is you're going to, with one hand, grab a hold of your lining at the shoulder seam, and then with the other hand grab the other side of your shoulder seam, open it up, and depending on how you have your seam allowance folded, go ahead and do that. That way it matches. I goofed and didn't do that on the other side, so it looks like this. It was like this. We've opened it up. There's the inside, and flip it. So the collar or your neck opening is now right side up. And take your fingers and side seams or shoulder seams, put them together. Put a pin. I'm going to put 2 because I want to hold down my seam allowance. I don't want it to flip on me and then get a big funky bump. So now you're just going to go lining fabric to outside fabric, which you should have your right sides facing each other, so you should be good on that. And then I will put a pin where my markings are, and then we will sew this together, and then I will show you how to flip it. Some people may not use pins, that's okay, but since I seem to forget on how all this loveliness fits together, I'm going to put pins. That way I should have no reason to mess up, and if I do realize that I've got to mess up, I'll notice it while I'm pinning. So I'm going to match my notches together and put a pin. This particular dress calls for sleeves or some kind of a sleeve or a binding, and I didn't want to do that because, like I said, I want a lining because my fabric is kind of thin, so I don't want my undergarments to show. So now we're going to sew, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. My seam allowance for this dress is 5/8 of an inch. Sure everything is going neatly in there. Hopefully you guys can see. Not very well. Sorry that my hands are in the way. I'll try to back them up a little bit more. And I tend to backstitch a little bit on the shoulder just because I want to make sure those don't come apart. I don't know, maybe that's just poor judgment or poor construction or something, but I've had a few things that tend to kind of come apart at the shoulder seams, even in like store-bought clothes, so I tend to reinforce that a little bit. Alright, get our pins out again. Oops. And then So this is what you've sewn. Get up a little bit. Okay, so you got this doodauber here. You're going to stick your hand through there. And you're going to grab the opposite end, which I have pins in. So pull that through. And there you go. Now you have 2 finished armholes. And that was it. So now all you got to do is on your side seams, whatever they might be, you put them together and sew them up. And that's it. So hope that was helpful. And so you should, where am I at here? Take your side seams and so your right sides to right sides pattern piece, or your printed front, and then your lining piece, and you're going to sew, and then that will close those edges up. So like I said, I hope this helps anybody. I know it's super easy to do, I just couldn't remember the process of it, and it was driving me bonkers yesterday. I could have had this dress finished, but I spent an hour of getting mad and frustrated because I could not remember how to successfully do a lining in the armholes, and now I feel like a goofball because it's that easy. So I hope this helped you guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and enjoy what's left of your weekend, or enjoy the rest of your week depending on when you may catch this video. So see you after a while.